I have my staff members. I have about 5 people working for me, making me money. And I tell them honestly, I'm going to treatment so I can stop doing these things, so I can be a better leader, so we can all make money, more money. You're not reaching your goals, I'm not reaching mine, and it's all because of me. I'm a terrible leader because I'm always smoking pot, and you're here alone. And the only way I can help us make more money is if I go to treatment, deal with this thing, and then come back and be that leader. And that's what I promised them. And then you know what I do? I stay the full duration of treatment, and I come back to my staff and I tell them, you might as well quit because I don't care about money anymore. All I want to do is help addicts. Like my whole purpose had changed. All I want to do is to get well, and all I want to do is help other people get well. Now, why would that be the case? Because I met a man in treatment, and he came to see me, and then as soon as we got out, he was talking to me, and the very next day I met him, and he said he was going to help me for free. He had recovered from crack cocaine. He had 11 years sober at the time. He used to be a drug warlord. He used to be a huge, huge drug dealer. Had 49 criminal charges. And then he went to, treatment, and someone taught him that to get well, he had to make the purpose of his life to serve others. And what this man taught me, his name's Charlie, he says, Scott, I'm going to help you. I'm going to work with you. I'm going to teach you how to live an honest spiritual life, how to be free of addiction permanently. And he taught me that the key to permanent recovery was that I had to be willing to help other people for free, part-time as well. And he told me that the reason he wasn't helping me wasn't for me. He said it wasn't because he was a nice guy. He says, I'm doing it because he doesn't want to relapse again. And so all of a sudden I'm listening to everything he's teaching me very differently, because I'm realizing he's teaching me how to be a teacher. And I better get good at this, because if I don't learn this, I'm not going to be able to help someone effectively, and they might die of a drug overdose because I didn't take this seriously. And I realize now this is going to be the mission of my life. And I had multiple addictions. I was addicted to all kinds of different things. And so anyway, what ended up happening, I told my staff, you might as well quit. I don't care about my business anymore. And they wouldn't quit. They stayed for at least a year. It took them forever to leave. They really loved me because I was this visionary, revolutionary, radical guy that they just knew that this guy, you got to be with this guy. And maybe he'll come back. Maybe this is just a phase, And it wasn't a phase. I mean, I'd even written a book, that they saw. They used to call me Jerry Maguire, if those of you have seen that movie. And the book was called How I Became a Billionaire by the Age of 50. An autobiography of Scott Gallagher's future. And I had written 50 pages of exactly what I was going to do. It was my game plan, to be super, super rich. And why did I have to be a billionaire? Because there's so many millionaires out there, and that's just average. In order for me to get loved, I guess I got to be a billionaire. But anyway, they eventually left while I was helping addicts. And it was the richest time in my life. I never felt so rich. There was a point in time there where I was working with 3 addicts a day, 3 hours at a time. And then I would be delivering programs in jails and institutions for free. And I'm the founder, like the global founder of All Addictions Anonymous. And I don't share that with you to impress you. Oh, look at how great he is. Just to impress upon you, that's how committed I was to helping myself and helping others. 10 years ago, I created this nonprofit organization because all these people started coming to me asking them for me to help them, and they had addictions that I didn't have, and they just didn't feel like anything was working for them. And I had this reputation. They'd come to me, and then I wanted a place where those of us that wanted to actually deal with a bizarre addiction, I had people that just bizarre addictions. Like some people were addicted to cutting themselves. They'd be cutting themselves with razor. I don't mean it's bizarre. I don't mean to judge anyone. I mean things that, you wouldn't have a meeting for that. It'd be hard to get help for some of these things. Some people came to me because they were addicted to non-eating. They called it anorexia. Some people bulimia. They had things, and I'd help them, and they'd get free, and then they'd go help others. And so then I decided to create this thing, All Addictions Anonymous. And then I managed to get us, it took years, for all the Toronto detox centers to allow us to have meetings in there to help people that had all kinds of different addictions. And now, 10 years later, I haven't had anything to do with All Addictions Anonymous, like for 5 years. Like, as soon as it got to the place where I knew that it would continue to grow even if I died, I stayed for 6 more months because I was codependent. I still loved walking into a room and people knowing that I created this thing. There was a charge I got from being, so to speak, the man, if you know what I mean. So I still stayed on for 6 months. It was hard to let go because I was addicted to this creation. I was addicted to people looking up to me and people, And then when I stepped down, it grew even faster. And it's now all over the world. Like, we get emails every week saying, just opened up a meeting in Australia. That was the last one I saw. Meeting here, meeting there. We're helping people here. People are being helped all over the world because I created this thing 10 years ago to help me and those people that had bizarre addictions. Me, I wanted to be free of all addictions. I didn't want to play that game that I was playing, which is I get free of an addiction and then maybe I relapse a year from now, or I get free from this thing, but now I'm substituting it with another addiction, and then breaking that one, and then going back to this other one. How many of you can relate to that, being the pattern of addiction? You break free of something, and then you see people, maybe yourself, substituting with just another one. Maybe it's less harmful, but it's like you're still going off one thing off the other. You're not peaceful inside. That's the bottom line.